free beneficiary planner. Call 1-800-482-9000 now for free information and your free gift. That's 1-800-482-9000. Call now.
At Marshall's, our buyers spend every day hustling for the brands you love. So you don't have to. We get the deals, you get the good stuff. Marshall's.
Question. How do you have a Bob Hearts Abishola with no Bob?
Your husband has gone missing.
I'm sure there's a simple explanation.
He had this weird look on his face.
He is not running away from me.
Okay.
A new Bob Hearts Abishola tonight on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Bless us, Lord, for the food we are about to receive.
Someone can consume food. Must be nice. Young Sheldon and Ghost premiere this Thursday starting 8/7 Central on CBS.
Welcome back, everybody. John,
It's amigo.
Your showcase was great. You had a trip to Austria and a brand new SUV. You bid $32,250. Actual price is $42,577. Difference of
10.
only $10,327. Lisa,
Amigo.
your showcase was great. A kayak.
Got some Skittles here, see.
The Kia Soul. You bid $19,890. Actual price $35,576. Difference of
He won.
John, congratulations. Up by 10 grand. He wins the showcase. Lisa, nice meeting you.
Wow.
John won $43,137 and the prize is look how happy he is. Thanks for watching this show, folks. Please get your pets spayed or neutered to help control the pet population. And take care of yourselves. We can see you next time on The Price is Right. Love you. Bye.
Guten Tag.
This is George Gray speaking for The Price is Right, a Fremantle production.
Why does war die for? Got a real mess here.
Killers always leave a trail.
Blood trail of source.
He's hunting people.
I got a back off! So much evidence, so many possibilities.
In these mountains, we live in a line of fire.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
But one spark
Gotten into Miller Canyon.
ignites a hero. For this team, for our town,
For my family.
I love you. We're always ready to protect the fire country.
Why a growing movement wants certain titles pulled from shelves, and how it's leading to a bigger battle.
Oh no, the anime?
On the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.
That's when the world changed for us.
Schools struggling.
I remember that because I was.
teachers.
It was 5 years ago, guys. That happened.
And causing burnout.
We really struggled last year.
And my YouTube channel started a day after that happened. Marine break crap.
Tonight at 11 on News Channel 3.
Hey, West Michigan.
Let me
when it
just
comes to
start on-
replacing your windows and doors, choose high quality and energy efficiency. Choose Pella. There's a new way to shop for windows and doors at our brand new experience center. Our experts will help you find the right products for you and your home. Create a more comfortable space that is energy efficient and with noise control options. With many options to choose from, you're sure to find the right windows and doors for your home.
USA, I got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The sun in the sky has
Blinky!
and excited a salute to the American race. Oh boy, it's well to say, good morning, USA.
Hey.
The police. So not only is Tax Ontario a big taxer, but he's a terrible taxer too. Terrible.
Good morning, USA. I got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The sun in the sky has a smile on his
Second trial of a Kalamazoo County
face, and he shining a salute to the American race. Oh boy, it's well to say, good
preparing. A school shooting in Russia leaves 15 dead, including 11 children. Why Russian investigators say the gunman may have been inspired by a U.S. school shooting. News Channel 3 Live at noon starts right now.
Covering West Michigan to protect and alert you. This is News Channel 3.
37 degrees outside right now.
And thank you for joining us on News Channel 3 Live at noon. I'm Kirk Mason. Outside plans, well, they are iffy today with rain moving through West Michigan. This is a live look at Kalamazoo. Looks dry there, but that is not the case everywhere. Meteorologist Jeff Porter joining us to track the showers. Jeff, what are you seeing?
Kirk, enough to be aware of, no doubt about it. Good afternoon. It's great to see you. It's great to see everyone. And I want you to see this, the live look at the Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport, where it looks like rain. And in between our instances of showers, there has been a little bit of sun. We've got a big rip current issue at the lakeshore. We've already seen waves almost as big as 8 feet. They could be as big as 10 feet. We're worried about heavy inundation of all of our piers. Got to stay off the piers. Here we go with your afternoon, evening drive fastcast. In and out of showers here. Could actually hear claps of thunder. We will be struggling in the upper 50s. Right now, our one shower on the north side of Kalamazoo should be downtown at 12:09, especially on the northeast side over to Comstock at 12:19. And some of these showers actually throwing out some fairly heavy rain, almost about a half an inch per hour near Fredonia, Union City, Girard. Another batch here west side of Branch County near the Bronson Golf Club in just a matter of minutes. 59 right now in Kalamazoo. That's only part of the problem. Note the winds here westerly upwards of 18 miles per hour. So yeah, you need a jacket. 59 right now in Kalamazoo, as aforementioned. 55 at Hastings, 56 in Grand Rapids. Here's a quick look at Hurricane Ian right now. Top winds 80 miles per hour. It continues to rapidly strengthen. If it misses western Cuba, it will only get stronger, faster. When rain finally leaves West Michigan. Kirk, we're going to do that next.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Hurricane watch is issued for the west coast of Florida after Ian strengthens into a hurricane this morning. Take a look at this satellite visual of Ian. You can see it moving north through the Caribbean, making its way towards Florida. The storm expected to slam into Florida in the middle of this week. Omar Villafranca is in Clearwater, Florida, where Ian could make landfall.
Heavy rain and wind in western Cuba late Sunday brought a preview of what's to come from Hurricane Ian. A week after Hurricane Fiona ripped through the Caribbean, leaving behind a trail.
Wenn du online verkaufen willst, gilt es aufzufallen. Und das jeden Preis. Geh auf Wix E-Commerce und erstelle einen professionellen Online.
Where extreme storm surge and flooding
BOCO is the big
right off their foundations. More than 500,000 people lost power. At least one person died.
Absolute chaos, to put it simply. It's the most surreal experience of my life. Never seen anything like it.
Make preparations now.
Here in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency ahead of Hurricane Ian's landfall later this week. Some people packed sandbags as nervous anticipation led to long lines for gas, packed grocery stores, and empty shelves.
I'm trying to get water, but it's not too much at this moment.
Ian's impending arrival also prompted NASA to call off its moonbound Artemis launch for a third time, rescheduling for October 2nd.
President Biden has already approved emergency aid for Florida. We are expecting hurricane-force winds later on this week and a lot of water. Storm surge 7 to 8 feet and rain in some places 6 to 12 inches. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Clearwater, Florida.
New at noon, the 3-year-old boy pushed off Chicago's Navy Pier into Lake Michigan by his aunt has died. Josiah Brown suffered cardiac arrest and severe brain damage from being underwater for 30 minutes. Prosecutors say his aunt, 34-year-old Victoria Moreno, was seen on surveillance video pushing him into the lake. Moreno now charged with attempted first-degree murder and aggravated battery. A Muskegon man and 4 small children hurt in a crash overnight. Ottawa County Sheriff's deputies telling us the vehicle rolled over on I-96.
That's just sad.
Big friendly diesel engine that works on Edwards branch line. He is the antithesis to the all diesels are jerks stereotype because he's the most kind-hearted and easygoing guy you'll ever meet. But did you know that BOCO has an evil brother? You heard me right. BOCO is one of the British Railways Class 28 diesels, a class of 20 diesels. These were all built in 1958 to
Booster was rare.
1959 and were numbered D5700 to D5719. Boko was D5702 and found his way to Sodor in the mid-60s. In the Railway Series story, Escape, Oliver tells Douglas the tale of his daring escape from the Cutter's Torch, and how he ran across Britain in secrecy at night, all under the nose of British Railways. When Control found out about him, Diesels were sent out to find him. One of the illustrations depicts Oliver and his crew hiding on a disused siding, while a cavalcade of evil-looking Diesels peruse the line for him, baying and growling like hounds. One of these Diesels is in fact a Class 28, the same as Boko. The Diesel is wearing the British Railways Rail Blue livery from the 60s. This is very fascinating, because only a single Class 28 got this livery in real life. Number D7501, the number right before Boko. As only one 28 got this livery in real life, the Diesel in this illustration is certainly meant to be the real engine. D7501 was withdrawn in 1968 and was scrapped the year after. Only one 28 survives in real life, D5705, which is based at the East Lancashire Railway, and Boko, of course, if you count him. I like to think that D7501 is like that estranged brother that Boko just prefers not to talk about. Talk about an awkward conversation, huh? Hey, by the way, Oliver, my brother tried to hunt you down once. Sorry.
That's kind of true.
Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Maybe sunshine and maybe rain.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and engine numbers. Almost every engine in the Thomas series has a number,
Time only got a number.
with some exceptions, of course. Engines 1 through 11, of course, are numbered so because that was the order of their arrivals to the railway. But many of the later characters have seemingly random numbers. They aren't always random, though. They all have meanings. Some are obvious, of course, such as Stafford, whose number is 1917, which is, of course, a reference to the year his basis was built. Or Heroes 51, which is a reference to his class number, the D51. Or Salty, who carries the same number as the real-life engine he is based on. However, some of the numbers seem to be without reason, such as Rosie's 37.
Rosie had a number?
What on earth is that a reference to? Well, here's a theory. Believe it or not, Rosie is the 37th standard gauge engine introduced in the TV show. Check me. See? Rebecca is number 22. Now you might think this is a reference to the season she was introduced in, season 22. But I think it actually goes a bit further than that. Edward, the number 2 engine, was written out of the main cast in the season 21 episode, A Shed for Edward, and was subsequently replaced by Nia. Rebecca arrived later in season 22, replacing Henry after his departure. However, series producer Ian McHugh revealed in an email to a fan, Rebecca was intended to be introduced in one of the cancelled episodes from season 21, which was cut and carried over to 22. As we can see in her concept art, Rebecca was always intended to be number 22. If she was meant to be in season 21, that'd make her number 22 pretty meaningless, right? Or is it? Here's a theory. As Rebecca would have been introduced before Nia, that means she would have taken Edward's place, the number 2 slot. Could her 22 be a reference to Rebecca being the second number 2? 2 and 2. That is just a theory, of course, but it is kind of sad. What's in a number, right?
It makes no sense. Who knows? Really? Yeah, who knows? Okay, Amigo. We'll go to Amigo for a little bit. I'm not gonna eat no more Skittles for a while, but yeah. Then I'm eventually gonna do something else. Havana, banana, Havana, banana. About time. Yep, he's gone, so it doesn't really matter, but yeah.
Jeez, hello.
Hello. There we go. Okay, boy, these feel weird. Dang, this feels weird. Dang, how do people wear these damn fake things? Okay, the fake, okay. So I have to do a few more things and I can look like the loon. Yeah, I know, but I tell you, that's the hardest part, is just making sure you know what you're doing. Don't screw yourself up, okay? Because that's... No, it has to be a little straighter than that. Yeah, like that. That's how you put it on. I still can't let you wear my fursuit, Jackson.
Can I see it? Can I see Jackson?
He's shaking his head no, because he doesn't want to look at his face. Jackson, I don't understand why you want me to pull over in the first place for.
I think your friends aren't real.
Oh yeah, he's wearing one right now. I think he's wearing my fursuit because he's thinking about. He wants to get his fursuit. His fursuit just getting made right now for him. Me and him have a thing we're doing during Christmas time where I'm going to be wearing my suit.
Can I see him though?
He's shaking his head no. He doesn't want to see what he looks like.
That's a him problem.
Yeah, and the thing is though, Jackson, he's going to be getting his own fursuit like mine kinda. Except he's going to have a red. Except his is going to have a red shirt. Mine's going to have a blue shirt.
Yeah, did you go through the whole process of make him a duct tape dummy and all that?
No. Last year I was in the Christmas party last year, so this year he wants to do it with me, which he already has a suit coming in already for him already. It should be done soon. But his has a red shirt, mine has a blue shirt.
Aww.
So yeah. Hello.
Hello.
What's up? Just waiting for the dry cleaners to call me so I can pick up my suit. Yeah, I wash my dry cleaners. I have to take my suit to the dry cleaners to wash it because my wash machine's too damn small. So they take mine to the dry cleaners. Actually, there's only 2 people in my town that actually wear fruit suits. Me and someone else is the one that wears them. I asked who. They said that we can't tell you. And I don't recognize the work. That's the thing. I don't recognize who does it, but I know it's not the same maker. I know it's not my maker because I make my own suits by hand. I make my own suits. Trust me. Yeah. So next one I have to make is like a steampunk one, which is gonna be a pain in the butt. I'm gonna hate doing that next week. Oh, great email. Oh, not again. Dear Mr. Melton, with inform you have to come to the... I don't want to get fingerprinted again. I just got fingerprinted to get my damn passport. Get fingerprint. At this rate, I'll never go for Eurocon at this rate. I like being an idiot, but yeah. Yeah, so that's the hardest part, is doing that. So yeah, the hardest part for me is make sure they stay in your mouth. That's the thing that really sucks. They just get them done, I have to go to the dentist to get it done. But yeah, that's the hardest part about doing any type of cosplay. If you're doing a cosplay and trying to do a character, it's like an animal, that's the hardest part. Going to the dentist to get your teeth made. I mean, it depends. Cosplay, it's one thing. Furries is another thing. The hardest part for doing cosplay is that. The hardest part for cosplay is you have to go to the dentist to get the... So the only thing that really sucks about... There's only 2 things, okay, you guys need to know. Cosplay is easy, but if you want to actually have it properly down to the last thing, it's the teeth. The teeth is the hardest part to do any cosplay. Because you physically have to go to the dentist, and he has to put the teeth. He has to have the teeth custom made for yourself. You have to go to your dentist. They'll make them for you. The thing is, though, my dentist does not like me doing this. So one more cosplay I'm gonna be doing with getting new teeth, but besides that, I'm done. So yeah, one more cosplay with that. Then the rest of that from now on, I'll be dealing with the feet problem. All of us furries have a problem with the temperature. Now people don't understand how I make sneakers for fursuits, but they're a lot easier to make sneakers than the sneakers are a lot easier to make than the sandals. I'm just telling you right now, the sneakers are a lot harder to make than the sandals. I make sneakers, and the sneakers are a lot better. Sneakers last longer than the sandals would last. I'm just telling you right now. But yeah, I know the hardest part is that.
No, it's Lester from PCA! Take a screenshot of this right now! Lester!
Question, Xbox or PlayStation?
What the fuck?
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox, Big Daddy.
Guess what?
Oh, him!
Oh man, I was gonna get my code numbers can kill me. No way, he's returning? No way, he's returning to NASCAR next year? That's gonna be so cool. Jimmy Johnson's returning to NASCAR? Wow, good for him. Wow, Jimmy Johnson's returning to NASCAR next year? Wow. That's cool. Doesn't really matter though. I race, it doesn't matter, I mud race, so it doesn't really matter. I race in the mud. I'm a mud racer, so it doesn't really matter. I do mud racing, so it doesn't really matter. Wow, you look nice. It sucks being colorblind. All I see is an outline of something. That's better. I wish I had the money to do what you do, but nope, I'm flat broke. I'm gonna stick with my YouTube channel. Yeah, I know, but that's one of those things. That's the only thing that really sucks about doing cosplay. It's weird. In cosplay, the hardest part is getting the teeth right. That's the only thing that really sucks. Getting the teeth right and doing colors of yellow. That's the hardest part. Okay? I mean, I've been doing cosplay for, you know, almost 2-3 years now, and the hardest part to do is the teeth. I have to go to the dentist to get custom teeth made. I mean, fake dentures to make my cosplay. But the hardest one I have done so far... Now, walking's not the problem. It's just the shade of yellow. If you want to use yellow, that's going to be the hard one to do. I mean, doing that one character, I can't think of its name. Doing that one character, you told me to do that one character was a pain in the butt to make. Well, it worked. But actually, it's weird. In cosplay, it's the teeth and the walk. In fursuit, it's just walking is the pain in the butt. I mean, I've been doing cosplay and fursuiting now for almost a year now. I mean, I've been doing cosplay now for almost 3 years. And I've been doing fursuiting now for over a year now. And both times, walking's not the problem for cosplay. Just the teeth fitting properly. I mean, yeah, my real teeth, but trying to get fake ones over it. I mean, people don't understand this. I prefer making the props, okay? I'm a prop maker. I do not... I mean, I made a prop one time. It worked for about a month before it exploded in my hand. Then that's how I got my hand. That's why I had to wear that cast for 6 months. That prop exploded in my hand. That's why I wore a cast for 6 months because I broke my wrist. I mean, I could not do much of anything else besides. The hardest thing I have ever done in anything is actually riding that unicycle. That was hard to do. Riding a unicycle while wearing a Jamaican wig. That was the hardest thing I've ever done in cosplay. Because I could not see what I was hardly doing, and I'm wearing a helmet with a hair over it. I can't really see what I'm doing, and I'm wearing a chest. I mean, the only protection I had was a helmet and a chest plate. That's all I ever wore. I mean, chest padding they wear when skateboarders ride. And I don't like riding a unicycle. Period. Unicycles are dangerous as hell, but I did it. And it was fun though, and people were surprised I knew what I was doing. I mean, come on, I've been riding odd and I've been riding dangerous vehicles for. I mean, I ride tons of different types of bicycles. I've been riding unicycles for about 3 years before I did that stunt. I mean, I wasn't a professional rider. I'm not even a professional gamer. I'm a professional goofball, but still, I do pranks all the time. Besides, I know it's a magic trick, but still, all the magic tricks I've done over the years, the worst one doing besides that unicorn that you in the unicycle was the trapdoor trick. I almost broke a wrist on that trick, but yeah, I mean, I know I'm a YouTuber, but still, YouTube is still fun to do, and especially when we get our new studio in 2 weeks, that's gonna be awesome, great too to do. But I don't care what people say, because if you say you're crazy or stupid, I don't give a care. I mean, I just do it for fun. I mean, let's not crazy my brother who decided to shoot a firework try to shoot a firework at his ass. I'm not that stupid, which I finally uploaded yesterday. I mean, I've been waiting to put that video, but yeah, I finally put that video up there, and I don't care if people watched it or not. If you're over 18, you can watch the video. The thing is, though, that was one of the dumbest things I've ever done. Yeah, I know what you're saying about that too, but yeah, I don't care. Wait, let's see, goes to your channel. That'd be funny. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I don't think people can see the wire. But yeah. So, yeah, once he actually finds out that you're a YouTube, once he goes to your YouTube channel, yeah, that's the hardest part, though. So like I said, the hardest part is just I mean, it's easy doing cosplay. Just the hardest part about doing cosplay. It just depends what cosplay you're doing. I mean, I do. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I'm gonna ignore what that guy said. Besides, this guy that doesn't care. Yeah, if I told him my videos on YouTube, he'd go crazy. Good point. No, it's not. No, that's not Whistle. No, that's not Diamond. No, it's not with the cats.
Shut up!
Doesn't really matter. The thing is, though, this is a nice platform to do bullshit on. Besides, if you don't like it, like I said, this is just trying to help the channel get bigger and bigger. Like I said, the hardest part about doing any of that stuff is that.
Baby, you know I'm just.
So yeah, the hardest part about doing anything in fursuit is just walking. Yeah, I know that guy in Japan did that, but I can't do that. I mean, yeah, I did ride a unicycle in front of my head on, but that was hard as hell. Yeah. YouTube. Yeah, but that's the hardest thing I've ever done, is just walking in it. I mean, try to ride a unicycle in fursuit, do not do that, because that's a pain in the butt. That hurts like hell. I mean, yeah, I know, I wore my head and did it, but still, that was hard to do. I mean, I rode unicycles before, but that was just real hard because it wasn't my unicycle, it was someone else's unicycle. I mean, you can't take your unicycle on the plane. That's what sucks about going on. That's what about taking a plane.
Shut the fuck up. What are you on about?
I was in a fursuit riding a unicycle while juggling pins in fursuit. That's hard to do. I have done it twice.
Well, done that, man.
And that's hard to do.
Okay.
Thing sucks is it wasn't my unicycle. That's what really sucks.
No, that sucks, bro. That sucks.
I mean, I like using my own equipment, okay? The only reason I couldn't use my own equipment is because I couldn't take my unicycle on the plane. Because it wasn't your basic unicycle I used. I used a custom unicycle for myself, you know. And it actually had... Okay, it actually wasn't a unicycle. It actually had a stabilizer on it, right? You know...
That's relatable.
No, mine actually had stabilizers on it, right?
Yeah?
This is when I start riding. When I start riding, okay? Then my sister who comes with me, right? He has a thing, he runs up to me and clips it off so it comes off when I'm riding it. But when I get on it, I have to have stabilizer so I can get concentrate on it. Start riding it. When I start riding it, then he takes the thing off for me. But yeah, I wasn't taking my unicycle and I couldn't ride it. And I started riding it. I fell flat on my back twice. And they said, wait, we saw you do this online? Yeah, but when videos online you see me do it is I have a stabilizer on my unicycle, but I couldn't bring my unicycle because it wouldn't let me. And they said, yeah, because so it's going to cost me to get my unicycle there. It cost me $30 to ship it over there to where I had to do the scene at.
No.
I mean, I can use, any unicycle, I can ride any unicycle out my first suit on, but it's a lot easier to ride my unicycle, so what I did? Didn't when my first suit, I just did the unicycle stuff, right? Drilling pins with a head on. It wasn't as hard, but it was a lot easier to do it without my suit on. But they're still surprised I knew how to do it. The thing was, though, they had plywood where I was doing my stunt at, and grass around me. I told them I'll do the stunt only if you get sure there's plywood on the ground and around grass because I don't want to fall on concrete. Yeah, I did my stunt pretty well. The problem was I tripped twice, fell in the grass, got bruised up, but didn't get bad. Besides, I'm not used to doing stuff without my certain. I mean, you know how people like doing certain stuff with certain equipment and stuff. Can't do it with your proper equipment. You can't do it properly, which sucks. But I did okay with it.
Oh, I don't really care.
Yeah, but I made money off of it. Yeah, forget it. I'm gonna watch Jay Leno do some stupid YouTube. I'm gonna do something else. Yeah, like I said, though, the best part about doing the channel is running a channel the way you want to run it. Now, the hardest thing I've ever done with anything, the hardest thing it was ever to do was actually.
When you got demoted from Discord mod.
Nope, I'm a YouTuber.
What's your YouTube?
But the hardest thing for me, guys, is when I was racing the mud. I flipped my crew. The only thing that really sucks is flipping the car. In mud racing, that's the only thing that really sucks when I flip the car.
What did you just say?
Hey, I raced cars for a living in mud.
144 subscribers. How the fuck? Oh, you watching Naruto?
Yeah, I'm getting into it. I mean, I'm trying to learn animation right now, and Naruto has the oil animation where you see. I mean, trust me, the hardest part about doing animation is the hands and the feet. So yeah, his friend told me to watch Naruto to make the hands and feet easier to do. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna start doing that next week. We're gonna start working on that next week. I think Dr. Phil definitely has lost it.
Bro, I swear to God, this place is like the back room, bro.
What the? Who in their right mind does that?
Bro, every single fucking room just gets more creepy, bro. Hold on, wait. Look at this, bro. There's a billion fucking wires just hanging everywhere inside this stupid storage, bro.
You know what? I'm a janitor, so I'm used to seeing.
Used to be a weed growing room.
Hey, I'm a janitor, so I've seen tons of wires hanging from ceilings and stuff. Half for internet, half is telephone, half is cable, half is everything. So I'm used to seeing tons of wires hanging from ceilings. I'm a janitor. I'm used to seeing thousands of wires hanging from everywhere.
This is straight up just plugged into here, and then it got ran all the way across here. It's attached to a fucking shelving thing with goddamn tape, bro.
That's not right. Like, that's different.
There's another one right here. And bro, look at this fucking curtain, bro. One fucking really just put a piece of goddamn fabric over here.
That's different because I have cables above my head at my work, right? In the service room, you know, I'm talking about insulation cables above my head, right? But not like that. I'm a janitor. I'm not an electrician, but I'm a janitor, and I see some wires that don't look right. But that is just wrong.
Exactly.
I'm used to seeing wires above my head, but nothing else. You know, cable wires and stuff above my head and stuff like that. Wires above my head, but not hanging down from the ceiling all the way down tight. I could be like, yeah. That is just wrong.
Yeah, they're literally extension cords running up here. And this is the most dangerous goddamn laundry room right here, bro. If one of those were to you know what, never mind. I get the feeling they have low chance of falling, but still.
I mean, yeah. I have one such. You want to hear some though?
Hold on, there's literally a warning, Brent. Hold on.
Yeah, I have one such cord hanging from the ceiling.
Live, do not touch.
You want to know something though? I got one such cord hanging from my ceiling, which that's different. You know what it's connected to? My train set.
Oh, look, another fucking cord.
Dang.
It ain't even got nothing attached to it. What the fuck?
I'd call electrician.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I mean, because to me, I have one such cord. I do plug in the ceiling once in a while. That's for my train set, and when I'm done playing my train set, I unplug it. Because that does not seem safe. I mean, come on. Even when I'm not... I mean, today I'm off. Today's my day off, but still. That looks worse than where I work at. I mean, where I work at has some wires hanging down low, but... Well, I work at City Hall, so it doesn't really matter. But that looks worse than City Hall. Come on, I work at the county courthouse, I work at City Hall. The wires are not like that at all. At places I work at all.
They're just straight up, wires. They ain't even plugged in or nothing.
That definitely looks not safe.
More fucking things. I don't even know what that does, and I'm not going to press it because, you know, that's just not a good idea.
Whoever designed, I would definitely be calling an electrician because that could cause a fire.
Yeah, there's also water on the ground.
Yeah, I'd definitely call an electrician and let them rip all that stuff out and rewire your house because that's not safe.
Right. Yeah, look at this. Y'all see? You see this? You see all this? You see all this wiring? See all this wiring? It's going right over top of a goddamn watering thing.
Yeah, well, if I were you, I'd call an electrician as soon as possible because even I wouldn't want to be there because that does not look safe at all.
Yeah, no, it's not. I don't think it's safe at all.
I have some cords too in my garage that are plugged in because I have no electricity. I have little to no electricity in my garage, but at least wires in my garage are dangling. I know those go to.
Yep.
I have 2 wires dangling in my basement, but I know those go to too. They're not plugged in. They're just hanging there because there's nowhere to put them. I don't want them to get knotted up, so I put them there.
The area over here is like the only place in this entire basement that doesn't have any wires dangling from the ceiling. It's the pantry and the workout room. That's all. That's literally all, except for this unshielded light bulb.
That's typical in my house. I have a garage that has no shields on the lights. The shield's not the problem. It's just that all the electrical wiring stuff. Your electric bill must be expensive, dude.
Absolutely.
Probably costs more than my bill does.
Man, this place literally, like, this whole place used to be, just like nothing. There was no walls or anything. In the last couple of years, my grandpa built all this stuff. Like, literally, see this pillar?
Yeah.
It's got one of these, like, they're just meant to hold up, like, the, make sure that yoga don't collapse or whatever. I think there's another one here, but I don't know where it is.
Okay. Okay, yeah, like I said, there's my YouTube channel. If you want to see some crazy stuff, look at my YouTube channel. It's funny as hell. But,
alright.
Yeah, I'd be careful with because, like I said, I'd call an electrician as soon as possible. Go online or go to the telephone book, look for an electrician. That's what I usually do. I go through the telephone book. YouTube, because I live in rural Michigan where cell service is not that good here, so internet's not as good as either, so a lot of people still use the telephone book where I live, so yeah. I live in rural Michigan, people still use a telephone book here. And telephone books are pretty thick.
Alright,
so,
I'm gonna find an electrician or whatever.
So we take it easy, see ya.
Because like we don't have the grow room set up anymore, like, so it's just.
Yeah, I'm done with that imbecile. I'm gonna check them out real quick, guys, and we're gonna watch some stuff on YouTube. But right now I'm gonna take a break. Keep you guys on. I might go do some gaming in a little bit. So yeah. This week, I got to go to the post office. So this Saturday, guys, we gotta go to the post office this Saturday. Let me pee real quick, then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. This Saturday, I gotta go to the post office, make some moolah. Where do you want to start? Post office Saturday? Oh, I have to go to the post office. Most likely that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do in a couple weeks. I might do it this week, who knows, but yeah. This Saturday I gotta go to the post office and pay my bill. That's about all I know I got to do. Nothing else I really gotta do. Which I will do eventually.
Manage and read your mail when away on business, on vacation, or abroad. Worry about theft of your mail and
Post office, I like it because it's good.
is this Greg?
Greg, yeah.
Hey, where are you at?
And in today's episode, what was Tenpenny's plan in Los Santos? What was the deal between Tenpenny and Big Smoke about? At what point in the story did Ryder really betray the Grove Street families? Were Big Smoke and Ryder involved in the death of CJ's mother? What did Emmett have to do with the Green Saber? Who killed CJ's mother? Hey everyone! Some time ago, we published an episode about Ryder's original concept, in which, as it turned out, Ryder was not supposed to be a traitor to the Grove Street families. Today, however, we would like to discuss all aspects of Tenpenny and Big Smoke's deal, and, at the same time, find out if Big Smoke and
Screw my dick off. Oh, you got that Stevie copy. No chance I have a piece. I wish I still had what that one guy has. Nope. That's kind of like, that's kind of what every woman wants, doesn't it, for a man? What's that? I mean, I know sex is, the easiest part of that is. I can meet a guy there. That one thing, I don't have one thing, something. I touched one thing on these, but I have no chance of doing all that. It is very, very slim, but yeah. I need you one of those reasons at a future date.
Ryder were involved in the murder of CJ's mother. So far, there are many interesting and informative videos on this subject, but, in our opinion, there are other issues that should be addressed. Welcome to the Gaming Investigators channel, and we warmly invite you to the next video. The first topic we're going to discuss will be the aforementioned Big Smoke's collaboration with
okay, this is August this year.
Tenpenny,
okay.
About which quite a lot is said in the introduction movie. Turning to the events discussed there, we can see that at one point, the Grove Street families were doing very badly. The gang struggled with many problems, competitive groups grew rapidly, gaining more influence and advantage. This was mainly because the rival gangs immediately entered the drug market, gaining enormous capital from it. The rejection of drugs by the Greens gang causes them to lose the ability to raise funds, as a result of which their districts are becoming poorer and individual sets weaker. We told a lot more about this in the episode about the breakdown of Grove Street.
Everyone knows
Make more good in the all-new Sportage Expo.
I wish I could do that.
Movement that inspires.
I wish I could see. I mean, the commercial makes more sense anyways. But they use tractors, I thought, to do the exact same thing.
Street families, which we'll leave you on the screen at the very end of the video. Coming back to the topic, Big Smoke sees all these unfavorable circumstances quite quickly. He knows that if appropriate measures are not taken, Grove Street will collapse sooner or later in the following weeks. The main culprit for this seems to be Sweet Johnson, who is reluctant to take any preventive actions or those aimed at reducing the advantage of his rivals. He believes that the drug boom will not last long and that the whole trend is about to change, and that Grove Street families will be back on its feet.
Hey, fool, we losing the streets, man. Nah, we just standing by our principles, homie. But our principles are making us bitches, man. Every day ballers get stronger and you and I get weaker. You and I get poorer, man. Man, this shit will blow over. It's always drugs.
Meanwhile, Smoke receives an interesting offer from the corrupt Crash Unit. Frank Tenpenny tells Big Smoke that the Ballas are about to launch a raid on Grove Street to murder Sweet. If the assassination was successful, Big Smoke would become the gang's leader, so you wouldn't have to convince anyone that Grove Street families should also become part of this whole drug deal. Tenpenny's entire plan in Los Santos was to eliminate gangs that refused to get into drugs. Next up, the second element of the plan was to maintain stable cooperation between the Ballas and the Loco Syndicate. This function was assigned to Big Smoke, who, also secretly behind Tenpenny's back, planned to unite several organizations, while Ryder was to be his representative in the Ballas. The whole thing was obviously done to earn some money. Meanwhile, Sweet was a big obstacle in Tenpenny's eyes because of his negative attitude towards drugs. At this stage, we can see that Big Smoke is craving money, but he still tries to make his friend die only as a last resort. So, he keeps trying to tell Sweet that the days of the Grove Street families may be numbered if the gang doesn't get involved in the drug business.
Take a fucking play by craze, man. This is the biggest money-making opportunity that guys like us will ever see. I got all the shit I need. Man, I thought we was in this for the hood. Not destroying the family, man. This Grove Street, man. Talking the whole thing.
The man hopes that he will be able to convince Sweet with this argument, but unfortunately, he remains unbending, which makes the plan to eliminate Sweet from the game seem inevitable. In the case of this thread, it's clear that Big Smoke had nothing to do with the Green Saber. Yes, the man had heard that there would be an attack on Grove Street soon, but he did not have any involvement. What is more, he tried to prevent this attack from happening. In turn, Ryder did not play any role in the whole unfortunate event at the end of the introduction movie. The following events will refer to this with the rest. Going further, another aspect of the whole thread is supporting the Ballas by Crash. As we can see in the introduction, shortly after Tenpenny's encounter with Big Smoke, 3 Balla OGs meet in the Ganton area. Interestingly, most of them don't seem to be overly positive about trying to kill another gang's OG. It seems that their doubts start with the fact that they are not convinced whether Tenpenny is honest with them, or he plans to screw them over. Although you can see that Tenpenny favors the Ballas, since he shares various information with other gangs as well, it's easy to doubt his intentions. Part of that is good as well, because that's how Tenpenny is in control, and the Ballas don't feel that confident. We mentioned it quite a lot in the episode devoted to the Contras organization, which we recommend you to watch, by the way. We were just talking about how letting the Ballas do too much could end up tragically for Tenpenny. Who knows if the cooperation with the corrupt police unit would not be terminated then, because the Ballas could feel confident enough that they would think that they would be able to handle everything perfectly on their own. Furthermore, knowing in a way the know-how of the whole business, it could be just like that. And probably Tenpenny realized that. On top of that, we'd also like to talk here about the Grove Street raid itself. A lot of people think that the ballers we see in the alley are the same who made the attack, but it is completely different. The fact that the attackers we see in the Green Saber have different faces already excludes this option. However, a very interesting thing in this case was said by LS Central, who mentioned in one of his videos that one of the attackers could have been Little Weasel, whom we kill in the Doberman mission. And, frankly speaking, this is a possible option. First, Little Weasel has a character model of one of the Ballas who took part in the attack. Besides, his dialogue lines also suggested quite strongly,
"Buster Crash, set me up!"
In addition, Little Weasel was probably also one of the Balla OGs, as we can judge from Sweet's dialogue from the Los Sepulcros mission.
Sad, peep this. Tenpenny just came by. Said that one of them ballers that you and Smoke laid out, Lil Weasel, is getting buried and all the OGs gonna be there.
And finally, there's also the fact that there is simply no major obstacle that his participation in such an action would not be impossible. After all, it's worth noting that some Grove Street OGs took part in much less serious actions, like the one from the drive-by mission. Thus, Little Weasel's high position in the gang hierarchy does not prove or disprove anything. Either way, the next major theme of this episode is Ryder. Big Smoke, realizing that there will be big changes on the Grove Street family's turf after Sweet's death, decides to talk to Ryder about it to give him a little awareness of what is going to happen in the future. The man openly says that the drug business is simply necessary for the survival of the gang. At this point, we are also dealing with a very interesting and quite ambiguous statement by Smoke. By the way, we are counting on your comments in which you will let us know what you think. But, going straight to the point, we're talking about the following statement.
Put a gun to a brother's head, brother's gonna do what he's told, no matter if he's a fool or wise.